This module is related to the migration flow, how migration flow is going to be affected through the process of globalization. So because it is another dimension of the globalization. Whenever we are talking about the migration flow with reference to the globalization, interestingly, we can observe through the history after World War II, the Organization of Economic Cooperation for Development, OECD countries, these countries showed more rapid growth as compared to the rest of the world. And this rapid growth happened due to because these countries are going to develop themselves after the destruction due to the war. So they are quickly or rapidly, because they know how to develop themselves. So there was a pressure on the migration. Lot number of people want to migrate towards the mostly quickly or rapidly developing countries. So these OECD countries are going to face the pressure of migration over the time due to their rapid growth. Secondly, it was observed through this process, it was established that whenever there is rapid growth, the migration proceeds. Migration follow it. And this happens due to the OECD performance, and historically it was recorded. Therefore, that was evident through the history. Second important thing was there regarding the possibility of better economic life, because people want to migrate with the desire to improve their lifestyle. So this was another important context for which there was a pressure across the country, specifically the poor countries, those countries having low incomes. Their people want to move from these countries and migrate to the rich or developed countries. Third important thing is related to the wage or unemployment differential, because in some countries unemployment rate was quite high, so the wages were quite low. On the other side, in developed countries, unemployment was quite low, employment level was quite high, and due to that, wages were also quite high. So the gap between wages induced the people who are living in poor economies move towards or try to migrate towards those economies where they are going to have higher level of wages. So that kind of pressure is going to be added due to this choice of making their economic life better. Next is related to the migration dimension. Actually, migration has its own dimension. There are three major important dimensions which we can focus. One is the intensity in migration, next is the spread, and then is the distance. All these three important components are going to help to understand the context of the migration, and the more information can be available through the articles I have referred here. So if we are going to observe the globalization process, at the initial phase of globalization, only goods are going to be moved from one country to other country or crossing the borders. And second phase focused on capital movement, so capital flows grows up. And now the third phase which is going on is related to the labor. So labor is going to move from one country to other country, so crossing the borders. So this is another important perspective now, which is related to global immigration and global emigration. So people are going to move from one country and they are going to settle in another country. If they are moving out of your country, then it is just like you are exporting commodities from one country to other. So emigration is showing that kind of situation, and immigration where people are going to be settled. Just like you are receiving the imports on the same ground, you have the goods and services available in your own country on the same ground. Immigration, people are going to settle in your own country. So that is going to or leads towards convergence. Actually, this global immigration or migration as a whole is going to affect in terms of intensity, in terms of spread, and in terms of distance. Basically, its effect is on convergence of factor prices and per capita income. Because what is happening, the demand of labor is going to be high, but the supply was low in developed countries. So, or those countries who are going to be globalized already, and from other countries who are beginning or who are starting to globalize, their labor is going to move towards these countries, so they are getting higher wages. So on the one side, in developed countries or in more globalized economies, wages are moving downward, In rich economies, wages are moving downwards due to the high supply of labor. And in poor economies, they are receiving the remittances due to the high wages received by their labor working abroad. And secondly, these countries are capable to raise their GDP or GNP because large quantity or large amount of remittances are going to be received. They are allowing to raise their GNP, and this GNP is allowing to raise their per capita income. So both factor prices and per capita income are going to converge across these countries. So rich countries are moving downward in terms of factor prices, and poor economies are moving upward in terms of factor prices. On the same ground, rich economies per capita income is stable at a high level or slowly growing up, but the poor economies per capita income is growing quickly and rapidly, so they are going to reduce the distance between two. So this whole thing actually leads towards that kind of phenomena that we need to understand the intensity, spread and distance. So these tables are helping us to understand that how the migration is going to be affected over the time from 1960 to 2000. The number of immigration countries increased, but on the other side, the net immigration countries, so those countries who are at the receiving end of the labor, they reduce in their number. But the countries from which people are moving out, they increase in their number. So it means that more countries are going to be globalized, becoming the part of the globalization process. They are opening their borders for the labor, and more labor is going to be settled in these countries. Then if we observe the intensity in terms of the global migration rate, we can observe the reduction in the intensity. On the other side, the migration spread actually increased, and global migration distance remarkably increased. So it means that in terms of distance, globalization actually increased the migration phenomena, and in terms of spread and intensity, no such remarkable change actually observed. However, if we observe the spread with respect to the 1960 to 2000, then we can easily observe the immigration and emigrant spread both are going to be deviated from each other. The emigrant spread declines, while the immigrant spread rises. So that kind of phenomena is going to happen over the time. So this means those people who are moving to settle in developed countries, those countries who are rich countries, they grown up, and those who are leaving, they are reducing their number. If we observe here, the Europe is the major area which is the good example of the globalized society or globalized community, and we can observe that this is the area where the labor is going to add or in, and here it is going to move out. So this means what will happen in Europe, more people or more labor is going to be added, or on the other side, those who are moving out of the Europe, they are declining over the time. So more people want to stay within the Europe with the process of globalization. Again, if we observe the Europe, then in this case, more people are going to come in terms of spread, and that is constant with reference to the people who are moving out. So there's no change in terms of people. They don't want to leave the European area. Asia is showing good situation here as well, because this is the rising trend, but in both. So this means people are moving out of Asia and they are moving in Asia for settlement. So that is going on. If we observe again this situation with reference to the distance, in terms of distance, the remarkable change we can observe in case of Europe, you can observe there is no remarkable change. In case of the people who are going to settle in the Europe, very slowly they are growing, and those who are leaving the Europe, very slowly declining. But at net number of labor immigrants are definitely quite high. But these areas are quite visible in terms of the change, that is the Oceania. In case of Oceania, the change is in both cases is declining, showing declining trend. So this means here Asia, if you observe the Asia is showing the very small people are going to be in terms of distance, but a bit large number are going to be settled in terms of distance. So Asia is showing a bit marginally different situation as compared to others. If we compare again these three contexts in terms of immigration diversification, then this map is going to show the difference between from 1960 to 2000, how things have been changed. And if you observe the score, which is going to rise, the rising score showing that diversification is going to grow, right? And in this way, we can observe that in which area diversification, you can observe the diversification actually reduce in this area. And if we are going to specify some of the other areas here where diversification has grown up, increased. So that kind of situation, you can easily judge that how immigrants are having diversified ways to settle in different areas of the world. Then again, now this is the dispersion, immigrant dispersions, how they are going to be dispersed across two time periods. And now we can observe this is the area where dispersion increased as compared to other. And if we observe, this is the area where dispersion decreased. So this is the area including China and other countries. So this means we can observe actually what is happening. Dispersion is going to change over the time with reference to countries. So country to country or region to region, situation is different. And overall, if we observe the migration global index, then this global index is increased very high in this area and remarkably good in these areas. These are the areas where this index value globalization. So these countries are, or these areas are becoming the part of the global context more quickly and more effectively.